Hey there, thanks as always for tuning in to the third episode of Cooked Before Noon. As a reminder, the concept of Cooked Before Noon is simple. I give you a recipe you can make ahead of NFL kickoff on Sundays, so you've got a delicious, flavorful treat ready to share with family, friends, coming over for the game or tailgate, or you can make this all to yourself because it's that yummy. We're staying along a similar line as we did last week with another amazing dip that we're gonna make together. Game day just isn't complete without your dips. We're making a cheesy, spicy, not too spicy, crowd pleaser, which is Chili Con Queso. Perfect for loading up some chips while you're watching the game. This is everything you'll need to get started, which is right here. I'll post it also at the end. I'll be sharing the details of how to put everything together throughout the video. As always, giddy up. All right, first up on the chopping block, 3 cloves of garlic. You want to mince these garlic cloves. Everything's better with garlic, right? Forgot to put a paper towel down under my cutting board, as you can see. That'll be next. Little tip to get it to stop moving. Everything we chop up, we're just gonna put to the side for now and add it in as we cook. Wet paper towel down. Perfect. Next, we have 1 bunch of scallions. Just wanna slice these. Next, we're gonna add a little bit of heat. 1 jalapeno, seeded and chopped. Chop it up a little bit smaller so the flavor blends in nicely with the queso. Next, chop up a little cilantro. Peel a couple bunches off the stem. Mince this up as well. What can also be used is coriander. Want at least a tablespoon worth. And last but not least, if you've bought blocks of cheese like I did for this recipe, we're gonna chop it up because it'll melt faster once we add it to the pan. I'm just gonna chop this up into cubes to give you an idea. Now for my favorite part, 1/2 pound burger, 1/2 pound of sausage. I chose to go with ground sausage, Italian, but you can also go with chorizo, which will add more spice to it. Gonna break this up. And what we're gonna do with both the burger and the sausage, cook it to when it starts getting brown. Then we're gonna take it off, mix the rest of the ingredients. You can keep it on medium heat. Everything's heating up nicely. Process takes about 10 minutes or so, depending on how much you broke up the meat. Get it to a point where no pink remains, which we're pretty much at right now. I'm gonna take this off, put the meat onto a separate pan. We can still use this pan to cook everything else. Okay, so after we cook the meat, you want to lower the heat to medium-low, and we're going to add the scallions, garlic, and spices. So, scallions, garlic, add the cilantro. We're going to save the jalapenos and add them in a little bit later. We're also going to add 2 teaspoons of cumin. This might take me all day. That's 2. 1 tablespoon of chili powder. We're gonna let all this saute for about 30 seconds. After about 30 seconds, we're gonna add in the jalapenos and the salsa. 1 can or jar of salsa. Mix that all around. And so it cooks evenly. I'm using a slightly bigger pan than I normally would. What's great to make queso in is a smaller crock pot or smaller saute pan works as well. Crock pot will be better to keep things hotter throughout the game. We're gonna let everything cook for about 2 minutes here. After about 2 minutes, we're gonna add the queso. For our queso, we're doing 1 pound of Velveeta cheese. Again, cubed so it melts faster. And 1 pound of Kobe Jack cubed. Pop the lid on this, starts to melt faster. We're going to melt the cheese through here, so keep an eye on it as it melts. The amount of time will depend on the pan that you use. Let's take a look. After about 5 minutes melting the cheese, oh, we're cooking. This probably will only take about 10 to 15 minutes to melt through. Once it's fully melted through, we'll add in the meat to heat up a little bit more with the queso. Let's stir up this queso. So it continues to cook evenly. Mouth's starting to salivate. All right, so once we're fully melted through, last thing to do, add in the meat so it can all cook together. Bring that heat down a little bit lower so it's on a slow cook. And that's it. Creamy, melty, chili con queso, ready for kickoff. Of course, you want to serve it hot, grab some chips, and enjoy the game. And don't be surprised if it's gone before halftime. We'll see you next week.